What's up, fam? It's your boy Demuir here, purveyor of all sounds underground. We're here on the Industry Noize podcast with Wasteman Wano. In the background, you're hearing To Be a Star, produced by myself, featuring Phil Weeks. If you don't know, now you know. We have a contest running where you can remix this track by signing up to my Patreon and my Discord channel, and then taking a shot to remix it. You download the parts off of Patreon and you submit your remix by May 14th, and you'll be on the release if you are successful. There'll be the OG, which is my track, Phil remix, and yours. So check that out. Wasteman Wano, man. Crazy week. My week was busy, man. How was yours?
I have to say the same, man. It's just everything's been. I have so many things stacked up that today is just gonna be a work day, just proper work day.
Yeah, it's dope. Yeah, we were talking earlier, man. I don't think I really have weekends.
No, you definitely don't.
to be honest, but you know, it is what it is. Let me stop this. Let's stop this. All right, we got a lot to
cover today.
Unpack. A lot to unpack today. What do we got? Oh yeah, we got the news on Kanye. We got a little bit about Justin Bieber and his latest release. I want to talk about PR and dance music. You know, want to talk about that as well as things open up. Just some of the observations being made and what's coming up or coming back as status quo in the industry. And I guess on our YouTube channel, we released a video called "Other People You Should Avoid in the Industry." So lots to unpack. There's news about the Time Warner deal with Tencent Music to launch a specific label in China, and it'll be interesting to see how some of these deals play out and carry over to the underground electronic music industry. I think. Anyway, oh yeah, and booth etiquette and
Booth
Tinder.
etiquette's an
We got to
important one.
talk about some Tinder shit because you
Of
could
course.
you could do background checks on Tinder now.
No, man. Can you?
Yeah, yeah, man. They announced it. I want to say a couple weeks ago. So you can go on there, but I think it's like you pay like an extra fee, and you can say, yeah, I match with this person, but I want to check the background out, and it's just like with any job. When I was working a 9 to 5 back in the day, you know, the human resources department would have this thing called criminal and credit check, and it's not all they. I think all they can do for privacy purposes is just give you a cursory review, like, yes, this person's been arrested. Um, and I think it's kind of a good thing. I was watching the show on Prime. I think it was called Dating Nightmares, and like crazy shit that people would get into as a result of a Tinder date. Like some people actually getting killed and shit. Like madness, madness. You just don't know what's out there, man. So, yeah, man. If you go on Tinder, you can get the not credit check, but you can certainly get the criminal background check done. I think they're testing it out.
I don't know how I feel about that. That's interesting.
What do you mean, man? What do you mean?
Well, here's the thing. That is like, I feel like it's violating someone's privacy on a whole nother level. At the same time, I
Really?
understand why you would do it for safety, but it's just one of those things where it's like, take your chance, roll the dice. YOLO.
Honestly, fam, I've never been arrested, and I actually think something like that would have helped me out. Like last week we were talking about Sydney Blu. I don't think I've shared the story with anybody, but Sydney Blu, a few years ago, I was single and
Ready to mingle.
ready to mingle, so I was on the Tinder app, and I saw Sydney there, like her real name was on there, Joanne. I was like, oh damn, that looks like
Oh,
Sydney
bro,
Blue. And I was like,
you're putting her Govy on blast, guy.
what do you
Ooh.
mean, man? Like, anyway, whatever, bro. We're cool, you know. So I saw it, I was like, damn, that looks like Sydney Blue, and then like, oh shit, it is Sydney Blue. Yo, I'm gonna swipe right and just, make sure she links up with Toronto, man. Still.
You're a Brampton man, not a Toronto man.
Oh, what
Nice,
do you
dog.
mean, Bob?
You're a Brampton man looking ass over here.
Whatever,
Yo,
bro.
where's
Don't
your
even go
22
there.
spinners, guy?
What?
You had the chromed out rims on the Z3. Don't think I don't know that.
Whatever, fam. So
Yo, we gotta get her on here explaining why she said no.
I swiped right, man, and I was waiting. I was just waiting for us to match, and we didn't match, brethren.
Yo,
That crushed me a little bit.
That's
She hurt my
disrespectful,
feelings on that one. I mean, I've only met her all but twice. Had a few email conversations on different things. But, I figured this was a good way to overcome my shyness on the matter. Just to put it out on the pod.
I don't know, man.
And
That
then-
must have hurt you, eh?
Then, yeah, someone will clip it and let her know, hey, Demuir swiped right on you, but you didn't swipe back.
Yeah, bro. She put bare disrespect. We gotta get her on here, not to talk about music, but
Actually,
explain why she said no.
That is severely disrespectful to me. You're right.
You know.
You are so right, Juan. Very disrespectful to me. Like, what did I do to you, Sydney?
I know, right?
I didn't do anything to you.
Sydney, why do you
But I
not
feel
let
like-
him beat the Doonies down? That's the question.
You know what, man? If that criminal background check was there, I'm sure that would have got me over.
No, to let you beat the Doonies down, eh?
Yo. Anyway, man, that's my funny. That's my funny on Tinder. Yeah, man, dating and in the industry is interesting. That was the only reason why I was on Tinder, because I just didn't want to fucking date anybody in the industry. But obviously,
The irony of it, eh? You immediately try to swipe yes on.
I was
someone
trying to
that's in
make
the
an
industry.
exception with Sydney Blue, but it didn't
That's the
work
exception,
out.
not the rule.
Well, I got a question for you. You're an open format DJ.
Yeah,
So, have you ever beat before a set,
of course.
like at the club?
No, not at the club. Bro, the clubs I played at were so grungy, we did not have a fucking green room.
Mm,
But that doesn't mean I didn't beat in the car on the way there.
wow. Wow, this guy.
Bro, but see, that's the
Yeah.
problem with my car, man. It's thick, it's fucking uncomfortable for them. I feel bad.
You're fucking rude, man. This guy beat. Yeah, man.
Yeah, it's how you.
I mean,
Yeah.
I've done some things, some things I'm not particularly proud about, but it's almost like a rite of passage,
Of course, you have to do it beforehand, right? If
You're
don't,
not you're
are you
not a
really
real DJ.
Yeah.
You're not a real DJ unless you've beat right before your set in the club or en route to the gig. You know what I'm saying?
You gotta mellow out beforehand, For some people, they smoke a joint. For me, gotta beat the Doonies
Yeah,
down.
you wanted to get a little beat.
Oh, that's fucked up.
Oh shit.
Oh, we're gonna
Well,
get canceled. Oh well.
Whatever, man. I know a lot of people wanted to cancel you for your comments on digital versus vinyl.
Oh my god,
But
everyone, man. Like that. They wanted to cancel me for Sync. They wanted to cancel. They want to cancel me for everything. Next time, I'm gonna get a hat just saying canceled.
You know what, man? It's funny. It's all in good fun. Most of the time, it's all in good fun. But you come across some of the most ridiculous motherfuckers, like that EDM sucks video. I can't believe it still has people in knots.
Yo,
That
it's
video
such
we
a
did.
fucking stupid
It's still-
thing to be pissed about.
This motherfucker sent like a huge essay, like I was gonna read the shit.
Yeah, I know. It's one of those
Like-
things where the way I see it is, remember when we were talking about that person earlier in my car?
Yeah.
If you don't like it, then don't fucking listen to me. Don't be my friend. Don't waste my
Yeah,
time.
like
Right? I don't have
like,
fucking time to waste reading shit like that. I don't have time to waste fucking listening to your stupid opinion, because guess what?
You-
I don't give a fuck.
You are absolutely right. The internet is not a democracy, man.
It's
Like
not.
I'm not twisting your arm to listen to my opinion and the things I gotta say. I mean, even though they're factual and most of the time they're on point.
Wait, my dad. I'm
I, I
99% right all the time.
I can't help that I'm educated on these matters, and it's okay. It's okay to hate a little bit, you know. Shout out to the haters, by the way.
Yeah, I know. You
Shout
guys
out
keep
to
us
the
going because
haters.
you guys give us free views. You know, you guys are the best.
Oh
And since
man,
you guys keep typing in the fucking comments, the YouTube algorithm just keeps boosting us. So thank you
oh
so
man,
much for that.
listen, man, I love the haters. I love the trolls. You know what type of hater I think I love the most is the one that is like you occupy so much space in their mind that they're always checking for you, checking up on what you're doing. They don't comment or anything. They're just in the periphery. You know what I mean? Always checking. Like those are the people. That's when you know you're making a significant impact.
Yeah.
Shout out to the haters, man. I got love for y'all.
I got love for
I
you.
got love for y'all,
You
man.
ever seen that
But
hat that says "I heart haters"?
you know what? I think that's a shirt, man.
No, I've seen a hat of it. It's pretty entertaining.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's hilarious. Um, Speaking of people who've experienced a lot of hate or just confusion, Kanye West named the richest man in the music industry. Did you see that at 6.6 billion?
Okay. How is Kanye West worth 6.6 billion and Jay Z not that? Like that to me makes no sense.
It's Kanye, baby. Come on now.
But so here's the thing: what his net worth is estimated at that?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, let me pull it up. Kanye.
Like that to me is fucking crazy because Kanye is well not the
Yeah,
brightest bulb in the lot to say at least.
Forbes. Uh, so listen to this. This is according to entrepreneur. Uh, I guess entrepreneur.com. After Bloomberg initially reported that hip hop entrepreneur and producer Kanye West had become the richest black man in America earlier this week with a worth of 6.6 billion, Forbes did a recalculation and determined that Yeezy is actually worth 1.8 billion.
Yeezy's worth 1.8.
Um
So what is Jay Z worth then?
I don't know. I don't know, man.
What is Beyonce
Uh
worth?
but I'll let me forward here. This is when Forbes article stated that the $6.6 billion figure was disputed because the calculations that Bloomberg gave were theoretical ones.
Uh,
That sounds like a little PR at work to me.
it sounds like to me. But you know the thing
You,
is, you know who the richest African American is, bro? Elon Musk.
you're fucking,
Hey, bro,
you're a
he's born in
motherfucker
South
for that.
Africa. You can't dispute that.
Just
He is
because
the
of South
richest African
African.
American.
Wow, wow, bro, wow. Elon Musk, you're a motherfucker for that one.
Hey, bro, technically by the saying, it's accurate. He is the richest African American.
He's not. You know what? Fuck. Just
He
I'm
is
not even gonna.
African, you know.
I'm not even gonna debate with you on that because it's just not worth my time. Okay. Yes, it's actually 1.8 billion for Kanye, but I feel like there's a little bit of, definitely a little bit of PR that was behind that.
Yeah, because no one in their right mind would go, let's find out if Kanye is the richest man in the world. No one would ever do that.
And
Or
just the
richest
timing of it.
rapper. Yeah.
Just the timing of it too. They come out with that after you know, he acknowledges the divorce with Kim and says, you know what, Kim, if you need to get a hold of me, just hit my security up.
That's funny. No, honestly, I don't know.
Ah,
I'm not the biggest fan of
oh,
Kanye, although I was listening to a few of his songs yesterday on the ride, and I was just like, I don't see him as being even worth a billion, to be honest. Because what business
oh,
is
you're
he in even in?
crazy.
What
You're
business is
crazy.
he in other than shoes?
you're crazy. No, man. He did the stuff with Adidas.
Exactly,
A
shoes.
lot of people forget that Kanye was one of the first to put Virgil Abloh of Off White on.
Oh yeah, 100%. I know that
You
much,
know,
right?
so he put him on initially, and they had other smaller projects from before, but they're 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 making that bank, man. I'm not.
I
Hey,
remember
man,
when Virgil Abloh donated $50, and he's like,
yo,
he was
yo, yo, that's the
that's fucked up.
internet killed the internet killed him for that one, man.
Oh, he deserved
He
to get
got
killed for that, man. How can
he
you
got
know,
killed
you were
for
so much
that,
money and you
man.
go and flex, you donated $50? Wow, my guy, don't donate too much, eh?
$50, man, and
I
you're
know
running
they're
a
American and
multi.
they're worth more. By the way, bro, your camera's hella out of focus.
What do you mean? It's we want to focus on the mic. There you go.
There you go.
You like that?
Yeah, a little bit better.
Um. Okay, so that's the news on
Now
the,
Kanye,
the the
on
Kanye
Yeezy.
shit. Um. So you know what? We were last time we were talking about streaming and shit, and is it actually profitable? And
So,
I think I I mean, what are your thoughts on this?
so if I'm correct, Tidal is profitable. Spotify isn't, which shows that you can be profitable and still not fuck over artists.
Yeah.
Um, the other profitable service that I'm aware of is SiriusXM, and they also own Pandora, and that in the States is a much bigger deal. They're the biggest streaming service.
But is Sirius XM considered streaming or
Yeah,
satellite radio?
no, so they do have music streaming like on your phone,
Okay.
right?
They
So
also own a nice chunk of SoundCloud too.
and they own a bit of Formula One. They're a very diverse business. Fucking Warren Buffett had invested a shit ton of money in them, right?
Cool. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah.
Finish.
So
Finish
so
your
yeah.
point.
So first of all, it's interesting that they are the biggest in the world, but at the same time, they do a lot of like agreements with like car manufacturers and dealerships and shit like that to include it. So
Hmm.
obviously that kind of makes sense. But
Yeah.
yeah, no, it turns out it is possible to be profitable, and it's profitable at a much lower rate. Because a lot of the times, most serious customers don't pay $10; they pay less than $5 a month, and that includes
Mm.
Pandora. So
Mm.
it is possible to be profitable without screwing over artists and not charging $10 or $20 a month.
That's that's interesting. Well, the whole title thing, when it comes to profitability, I hear you. Like the sound quality is much better too
Oh my
on
god, that's
title.
an understatement, bro. I listen to that shit and I immediately notice a difference.
Yeah, and I think Purveyor Underground, we still give them catalog, like no doubt there. The weird thing that's happening though that has me asking the question about profitability and sustainability as as it pertains to streaming is the fact JC sold the title about 3 weeks ago. He sold it to Square, which
So,
is a credit card, which it's a payment processing
company, yeah.
company, right? So I just thought that was
So
interesting.
here's the thing. In the deal, he also got shares of Square.
Mm-hmm.
So it means that he also owns a percentage of Square.
That's good. Like, listen, it's good for Jay Z individually. I think that's just good business sense.
I think it's good for everyone
Pay
in
me in
general.
stock, give me X% of the business equity. Totally makes sense. But for title, in terms of what it was set out to do, I'm not so sure about that. I remember that massive press conference with Daft Punk and Madonna and all of the quote unquote elite, artists in the music industry saying we're introducing title. It's something bigger and better and different, and it'll benefit the artist, and it sounds better. Blah blah blah. And I knew there was a storm brewing with that business model when Jay Z relented and put his catalog up on Spotify. which is goddamn one.
No,
Like
I'm muting the mic as I do
you
that.
did too much blow, man.
No,
You
man.
need to
It's allergy
you
season for me and Andy Kills
you
us.
need to
Of course, we're living up to Miami life,
you,
you know?
you need to clear that nostril tract, man. You're a little too much blow, son.
um,
A little cocaina.
so here's the thing
Uh,
about that. I'm sorry to interrupt,
so
but
yeah,
the
so
way
what do you think about that? Because when he put his catalog on Spotify, I said, okay, this guy he doesn't really see the economic viability in streaming, and he's just maxing it out as best as possible because he knows Spotify has more paid subscribers than any of the other streaming services. So he's like, yeah, let me throw my shit up in there. And he also understands the top, what is it, 10 to 15 artists make a chunk
yeah,
off of everybody else who's on the bottom, which is bullshit. But whatever. Hey, if you're Jay-Z and you want to do that, go for it. I
100%.
just think it was a good business decision for him
That's what I was
personally.
about to
But
say. I think it's a good business decision. Um, Spotify is not the biggest, remember that. But they are the second biggest. Apple Music is third, and Tidal is like fourth or fifth, fourth. And the thing
yeah,
is, if them at fourth are still profitable and Spotify at second is not, it's because someone's running a business wrong. And I think I understand sometimes you have to pay artists to stay on your platform, right? It just kind of
yeah,
it's just a normal part of business. But I think the fact that they took the very California approach, where VC investors a lot of times just go off an idea, right? And they're not a proven concept, right? I think Tidal right now is a proven concept. Okay, it's making money,
mm-hmm.
it's profitable from what I read, and at the end of the day, artists are still getting paid well. So I think it's just a matter
yeah,
of time because Apple at the end of the day, what Apple at a certain point will do something similar to Spotify, 100%, right? They do it all the time, right?
What
They
do you
kind of
mean similar to Spotify? What are you
they'll
inferring?
start screwing over artists eventually. I mean, it happens. So how much percentage of your music sale goes to Apple if you sell on iTunes?
Oh no, for Purveyor?
Let's say if you were to sell songs on iTunes, what do they get? Like 30%?
Oh no, like hey, listen, I for Purveyor, I think it's even lower. Most of the best profit comes directly from Bandcamp and Beatport.
Yeah.
We give the exclusivity there. Streaming is like, you know, it's like this.
Not in our industry, but I'm saying in general. I think it's
Oh,
one of those
I
things
don't know.
where
I couldn't answer that question.
it's a tough line to see because a
Sorry.
lot of people, and especially the person from yesterday, the way they see Apple is they see Apple as a god. So it's easier to take down Spotify than it will be to take out Apple Music if they try to screw over artists, right?
Sure.
Right? A lot of these people do see Apple as God. Everything they do is perfect the way they do it, right? And they'll even admit
Hmm.
when they're getting screwed over, and then they're still like, but they did it for their reasons. And I'm like, yeah, but they screwed you over. No, it's okay. It's okay because they did it for the reasons. And they're always trying to find a justification.
This fucking guy.
No, it's true. They're always trying to find a justification, right? For everything that people always find a justification because they like the company, right? And I think Spotify is going to be easy target to take down. It's a big monster, but it's one that's easy to take down if you have even 5% or 10% of the music industry saying, "Oh yeah, we're not dealing with this shit anymore." All it takes is that much, right? But then what happens when Apple becomes the number one streaming services? They're not going to pull a Spotify? Of course they are, right?
I,
Right now
I
they're
don't.
playing the card of we are artist friendly, right? That we are artists first.
But they are. They're paying. They're paying almost double than
Right
what
now,
Spotify is.
right
Yeah,
now.
I mean, hey, that's your theory.
I'm saying
I
based
just
off what they do in the past, right? Their actions, history always repeats itself.
here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
It's true. History
Well,
repeats itself.
you've always been a Mac hate. You've always been an Apple hater, and
No,
it's
no,
okay.
no.
Yeah, you're a hater, bro. Like you're a hater.
Guy, I use an iPad every day. I love my iPad.
Yeah, you're using it for convenience right now, but most of the time you forget the conversation we had about what is the dopest computers, in terms of oh, it's got to be PC, man. It's got to be
Hey
PC.
man, PC's the only
Android
thing
all
you
the
can
way.
configure.
Oh, yeah, see, so there you go. You've always been a hater, man. It's okay,
Bro, here's the thing. If Mac was really easy to install Windows on, I would love a Mac because they're beautiful computers.
bro. You're a
They're
hater, man.
no man, you can't deny it. A Mac is the most beautiful computer you could ever buy.
But you still hate it. You just went through a whole process of saying Apple's going to scam artists
Oh,
eventually.
of course, it's a. They're here's the thing. Apple's way of business, and a lot of business and this is Spotify too. They're very cutthroat, right? If they have to screw over a person or two or 10 or whatever, to them that's fine, as long as they get their margins. Just look at the lawsuit right now they have with Epic Games, right?
Yeah.
Right now, they were screwing over everyone, and it took one big fish to be like, oh really, right? So in my
Well,
opinion, eventually Apple's also going to do the same Spotify thing. Tidal, I don't seeing that because then that would be like if Tidal started to try to do that, that's a death of Tidal right there. That's an instant death.
yeah, and I disagree with you on that. I Spotify has made certain concessions because of who was in their investor group. You know, you have the major record labels who have most of their artists, if not all, tied up in 360 deals, include whatever revenues come from Spotify and how they market shit. Like it's designed for them, whereas Apple doesn't owe the record music industry shit. In fact, they're quite responsible for leveling the playing field. I mean, to the detriment of everyone. You know, when iTunes came out um, and iPods started coming out, like I remember that shit. You used to be able to sell a physical record for $15 to $20, and the shit just dropped like a stone when when Steve Jobs came out with devices and software that allowed easier organization of music and empowered customers to sort of say pick and choose things and then bundle it up and say this is my playlist and this is how it's going to work. He didn't do that with the record music industry. So Apple's never catered to the record music industry.
I think we're
Well,
talking about
to your
a
point,
different era. I think we're talking about the Steve Jobs era.
but my point here, Juan, is that there's no incentive for Apple to play the game like Spotify has. Spotify is playing the game that they're playing because they modeled their whole thing based on input and feedback from the major record labels. It's 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 probably one of the things that um, persist in the underground electronic music industry, where they feel that we have to do all of these dumbass things that the major labels do, like how many followers you got, how many streams you got, oh what playlist are you on, like they're all they're playing that stupid fucking game. And then you have labels like me that are like fuck you, it's all about the music, and we prove it time and time and
But
time
how many of
again.
labels like yours are there out there? I'm sure you're gonna say a ton, but by percentage, we're talking what 5%? Not even that of the Spotify catalog, right? The
No,
Spotify
hey,
catalog, let's be real, that shit's owned by Warner basically.
no, but no, that's my point. One, it's an entirely different uh, business model. So that's what I realized. That's why I real like it's Spotify. We just lost your video, bro. What are you doing? See this guy, man. You just you're a bucket, man. Whatever. It's all good. See, people need to see this about you. They need to see this about you. Your mic wasn't muted there. We just heard you blow your nose. We just heard you blow your nose, fam.
Bro, the mic on the stream, the part that's
Wait,
recording, was
bro.
two different
I
mics.
don't
You're
like.
being a bucket guy. You're being a bucket.
Well, how am I being a bucket, fam? You cut off the video in the middle of the pod, and
Oh my
whatever. So
god.
let me just finish my
You
point,
finish your point.
because you're taking it to levels now where you're starting to frustrate, man.
Yo, nice that, nice that.
No, but on the real, fuck.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Good thing the
This
stream's
guy,
not hearing
this
that.
guy fucking. That sounded like he did a hard line of coke right there, man. What the fuck was
Hey man,
that,
you don't
bro?
suffer from allergy season. For you, me, it's deadly.
Bro, just grab the meds, man.
Grab the
All
med.
right. So let me finish my point. I'm just saying, listen, it's an entirely different business model altogether. Spotify versus Apple Music. Spotify is doing things to generate content and revenue because they're much smaller. So if that means, listen, man, majors, if you invest in this model, we will take a loss and pay you whatever. That's what they're gonna fucking do, and that's what they've been doing. Whereas Apple doesn't, they're just not in that position. So whatever. Well, I guess time will tell, but I think the facts are, the reality is that we have more technologies empowering artists, that it's to the point where we can actually start saying fuck you guys, we don't need that shit. Like Audius, I've been trying that out, and it's on its own path,
It's
you know.
completely different technology. That's, and,
It, but I
that
know it's
doesn't pay you,
completely
does it?
different technology, but they provide an app where you can stream or listen to the content
Yeah, but
that's
that's for
on there.
free, right?
Well, but yeah,
Yeah, but that means
but
that that's a platform that you can't monetize your content.
but nor nor is our musicians monetizing content on platforms like Spotify unless they have a 360 deal that fucks them in the end. So I don't like I don't I don't see the benefit, but it remains to be seen. Tidal is an impressive business.
Honestly, it
Um,
surprises me because at first I was like, "Oh, hi-fi, ooh." No, once you try it, man, you're like, "Ooh, I don't know if I
no,
can
it
go
sounds good.
back."
I've tried Tidal actually. I have. Um, it's nice, man. What can I say? And we give them music too, so it's
No,
all
no, no.
good. What?
Honestly, it's really good. Like for me, that's why I
Um,
switched from Spotify because I'm like, there was a really good incentive for me, and that was higher audio quality, which I appreciate, right? And that was the incentive that for me set me off. I'm like, okay, sure, why not? Then I think Spotify has run its course with me officially. I'm gonna transfer. It's gonna take me a long time, but I gotta transfer all my music over. And once I do
word.
that, then yeah, I'm just gonna be full title. Because honestly, it's just one of those things that I love the idea of just having the actual master, not a compressed version, none of that.
Word. Um, let's let me break this up a bit. I'm gonna play some shit in the background here. Yeah, I'm gonna try and sign this one. This is called "Bitch of Japan." This fell out of. You know what this is about? Juan's laughing. You know exactly what this is about because I had a very public issue with a cocksucker at King Street Sounds
Yeah,
with
I
their
remember that
bullshit
shit.
perpetuity agreements and remixing your shit to fucking oblivion, and then sending you royalty statements that charge you for a remix you didn't even ask for, just to keep you in debt with the label. So, Bitch of Japan, uh, I think that's gonna get signed very soon. I gotta finish that up. But speaking of music industry bullshit, um, interesting tweet. What you want to pull that up? One, the tweet from defected Simon Dunmore, um, posted this about a week ago.
Santa Claus.
Wow, wow. So Simon Dunmore of defected. Do you have it up there?
Hold on.
This is.
Well, you didn't post it in the doc or anything, guy. I don't
It
know.
is. It's right in the document, fam. What are you talking about? I'm
Uh,
like staring at it right now. I'm trying to. create a good visual
Oh, okay,
experience.
okay, I see what you did.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So you have it up now?
Hold on. Right, that's
Oh
fine.
shit, here we go.
Yeah, there you go. It's up.
All right, so let me read this tweet because it was very. Someone tagged me in this post after I saw the tweet, and I thought it was fucking hilarious. So Simon Dunmore goes to say on the 20th of March, it's massively disappointing that the track source top three are all remixes of tracks that are all over 20 years old. If house is to evolve, DJs and sites need to produce, support, promote new music. I had hoped that the lockdown would have spawned a little bit of creativity. Holy fuck.
This
We're
from the cocksucker from Defective.
I anyway, Simon Dunmore is the owner of Defected, yes.
Oh.
And he posted this in response to what he was seeing in the top three um on track source, which I don't really
We don't
I
fucking
don't
know.
really look at charts in general anyway, to be honest. Um but I remember after I saw the post, a lot of people came in and said, "Wow, Defected, how ironic of you." Like I remember one of the posts. The spirit of the post was how ironic, you know. Um, you guys always put out reissues of old music,
Yeah,
20
they do.
years
They're
plus,
deadly with that, man. I swear, they
like
reissue
under
a track like
Glitterbox.
every
Now,
week.
now I will say that that's fair. That's a very fair point. But it's the actual old masters. At least my understanding of what they do on Glitterboxes, it's the old master of the record, and they might, uh, remaster it, get it ready for the clubs or whatever to play out, and they put the whole record out, whether they sign it from, you know, like an old label in New York or LA or whatever, they buy the rights and then they reissue it. But what really pissed people off on the tweet was, I think the last line was spawned a little bit of creativity. And it's like, wait a second, bro. Defected is guilty, is guilty of putting out music, in my opinion, and in the opinion of a lot of other people, that is nowhere near progressive. In fact, it's bullshit music. Pump it up. Fucking pump it up. Bullshit song.
Don't you know
You
you
couldn't
gotta
even
pump it up?
call it. You couldn't even call it authentic, genuine house music, progressive, boundary pushing house music. So a lot of people went in on the tweet, which I agree with. You know, "Pump It Up" is a bullshit song. It's a song that was just made, packaged, ready, hoping, hey, it'll cross over, and I'm sure it did that. You
Yeah.
know, a lot of the bro house people fucking killing that song. Um, so so it was just like very contrary point, my friend, to throw this out there, when Defected is essentially doing similar stuff, and when it comes to putting out really creative, boundary pushing music, you put out songs like "Pump It Up"
Or
and
cola.
don't even let me get into Cola.
Oh
Don't
my
even let me
god.
get into that.
Man, that song,
Like,
that could have been straight out of the chain smokers and you could not tell a difference.
and hey, man, uh, I'm not hating on artists wanting to do something a little different with the potential of crossover, but don't come out and start criticizing people and in the scene that they're doing some shit that's not progressive, when you're just as guilty. Like,
There's a
fuck,
whole
your shit
label
doesn't
about
stink, bro.
re-releasing. That's Glitterbox. That whole
Like,
label
that's
is
what
let's
it is,
re-release
right?
old
So,
music. Oh, but it's not
like,
progressive, you know?
don't get me wrong. I've released music on Defected with, or via Classic Music with Mark Farina, and I would love to think that's progressive music. But in terms of the shit they put their weight behind, bro, Simon Dunmore, call me, email me. Let's have a chat on this one.
Let's bring you onto a podcast. Let's see your opinion.
Because
Just so you know, the podcast is unfiltered, so what you say is what you say.
And I'm saying this with the utmost respect. That wasn't received well. That tweet was not received well by many people. There's a number of posts, and I just got tagged in it like, hey, did you see this? And I was just like, this, he's got to be kidding. He's got to be kidding. But whatever. You know, he perhaps meant well to say, hey, you know, stop sampling. Fuck, I can't remember who does a lot of this shit. It's a specific group and label name, but it eludes me right now. But stop sampling fucking Off the Wall by Michael Jackson when it's been done before. You know, tonight, you know,
or
gotta leave your 9 to 5 up on the shelf and just enjoy yourself tonight. Dope ass loop, but it's been fucking done before. I agree with him on that. I can think
of like 3 songs with that shit.
Yeah, you know, and some cats, it's like they just go into this 90s house record bin and fucking pull it out and say, oh, this is the new shit. But it ain't, man. You're not really doing anything different. You know, you're not contributing to the culture and the scene in a different way.
Then basically second on that, so he had tweeted about that after. Okay, says, don't get me wrong, reissues and remixes of catalog have their rightful place, but there needs to be a balance.
So sorry, that's Simon's response.
Here, I'll right now stream Noize screen. You're about to die when you see this shit. Hold on, let me stream.
Let's have a look here. Oh, here we go. Oh yeah, because oh shit. Let us take this in, fam. Okay, don't get me wrong. Reissues and remixes of catalog have their rightful place, but there needs to be balance. I see people constantly complaining about the same tired samples being used. Produce new music today that will be the samples of tomorrow. Bring new blood into the scene. Fair fucking point. Fair point. But here's my feedback to Simon and Defected. You know, because I've had the humble privilege of Defected, you know, and I think it's cool they still ask me for music. I think that's cool. But I do have issues, and in terms of their response to certain things. And this is a perfect example. So you don't like the way something is being had and what's going on. But when you receive music that is progressive, and I'm not talking about myself, like I'm just looking at what comes out of the barn, okay? If you're receiving demo submissions that are more boundary pushing and new and different, put that shit out. Don't fucking put out a bullshit song like Pump It Up. You know? Don't fucking encourage people as a result of, you know, songs that you think are going to hit it off. Don't encourage people, well, make something like this or do it like that, you know, because people will just default to doing the shit that you're pushing out of the barn. So, like, to me, like, you can't suck and blow. You know what I'm saying? It's either one way or the other. You know, you can't say let's be progressive and then put out bullshit music that is far from progressive and that everybody scoffs at in silence. Because I've had this conversation with a number of different people that Defected actually books and puts on their lineups, with a number of different people that agree with me and what I'm saying. So it's not like I'm talking out of turn here, you know?
Here, so read this reply.
Soul Funkin' House, that one. I'm just sad that as a collector, you spend your life digging only to then hear your 1-year-old neighbor blasting out
17-year-old
a donking remix. Sorry, it's a little small remix while polished sorry, while polishing his his Porsche 3. What the fuck is that?
No clue.
Although that was probably me at one time. Anyways, that's all I got to say about this shit.
Yeah, no, that's,
What do you think, Juan?
I think he's a bit of a hypocrite. I don't like him. You know.
Jeez, like you don't. Okay.
Here's the thing. You know, you can't say one thing and then immediately be like, but it's okay because I do it, and then just be like, it's a bit different because I reissue music. You just said we can't have the same songs, and then you go away and say, okay, so we're gonna reissue this song. I know it already came out on 2 other labels, but we're gonna reissue it again on Glitterbox. That's hypocritical as fuck, and I don't like that. Right? That's a man right there who set standards for others, but not to himself, and then finds a way to be like, but when I do it, it's okay because mine's different. It's like, how people are like, we should tax the rich, but just the ones that are richer than me.
Yeah.
It's like that's the exact same thing. We should tax the rich, but only the ones that are making just above me. Right? It's the same thing. It's like, what? Like, it's the same thing. That's what he's doing. He's switching the goalpost around so that way it goes, oh, it's here now. Here's what we should be attacking.
Yeah, and I come from a little bit of a different angle. I think something like Glitterbox is fine, because it's probably one of the few modern channels that look to educate people on where house music comes from, and the poignant songs that defined it or inspired it in a masterful and material way. But don't in the same breath, and this is where I have the issue with Defected's position on this. Don't in the same breath put out bullshit music that go way against that history and say it's progressive when it's garbage.
Yeah.
Like don't do that. And when you get material that is progressive and that is pushing the boundaries, and it's not leaning to this watered down definition of house music, take some chances. That's what being a leader in the record music, I would say in underground electronic music means. You got to take some of those.
That's just being a leader in general. You have to take a chance, because if you always play
right,
it safe, if you know
exactly.
that this shit's gonna sell out well, no, that's great and all, but then when you post bullshit tweets like this, then you look like a fucking dumbass, right? You're like, oh, well,
exactly. Let me remind you, Defected had High, Alive, and Dirty. They had that record.
Yeah.
Okay. They had that record, and that anyway, I'm gonna stop there.
I'm just stop there before the NDA comes in and kills you.
Fuck whatever, cease and desist. It's not blasphemy. In King Street, you could fuck off. Like
King Street can suck.
it's not blasphemy when you're talking the truth, man.
No, man.
Give me a fucking break.
Yeah, it's fucking stupid, man. No, they can go fuck themselves. Fuck them. I don't care.
This is a rare moment for us, Juan. We're actually.
No, it's funny when I posted that shit and people started reposting. Bro, they blocked so many people that day. Because Andy got blocked, I got blocked, I think Sonia got blocked.
Listen, man. If on this whole thing where you have certain record labels doing, bullshit practices, exploiting artists, this is the worst time.
No, there's exploiting artists, and then there's fucking artists, guy. These guys don't even use lube,
Well, both, right? My point here is that this is the worst time to be doing shit like that. In history, to be doing shit like that. We got things like the internet that are empowering artists significantly. And as people get more educated, they're saying like, this is bullshit. You can threaten me with court cases all you fucking want, but it doesn't change the fact that was the practice. When you could connect with someone from Jersey to France to Canada that are saying, I had the same bullshit experience with that label. 100%.
And
it was awful.
We connect so much with people that aren't even our neighbors anymore. Just look at Hey Dan, he is our visual artist, and he's all the way in the UK, Your manager is from the Deutschland, we connect with people all over the world. And if you got fucked over, what makes you think that people are not gonna out you? People are getting outed for the literalist of things. So you're gonna get it outed when you do something really stupid, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So, um, that's all I'm gonna say on that shit. That was amusing. So shouts out to whoever tagged me in that post. That was my funny of the week. What else we got to unpack?
Justin Bieber.
Oh, Justin Bieber's Peaches.
Because you and I are gonna have a bit of opposing thoughts on this, and this in general has to do with cultural appropriation.
So, yeah. So my position on this is very similar to some of the bullshit we see in underground electronic music, which is, yeah, it's white boy appropriation of black culture all over again. You know, don't get me wrong. Justin Bieber could sing some shit, man. I think he's talented.
Yeah.
I think he works hard. And he's Canadian too, so whatever. I got love for him, but the thing, it's in the marketing that this shit pisses me off. And black people always do this shit. Like they say, you know what? Oh, but the shit just sounds so good. And then you see him passing all of these other black artists that deserve the same spot, but he's doing all the shit. Like, listen, people want to be black. They're doing the black shit. They love the black music. They love the black culture, but they don't want the responsibility that comes with being black.
Well, here's the thing. It's not that necessarily they don't want. It's just that they physically can't be. Like, it's one of those things where...
No, but fair. But I could tell you, listen, man, it's the privilege part of it that I'm referring to. So if you can love this music and do all of this shit, and in a heartbeat, you can flip into your own privilege. You can.
So here's the thing, and here's why, to me, the cultural appropriation thing gets a bit diluted in the way of, we've had people that take it to a whole nother extreme, to a point where that subject to me is just, at this point, it's like remember when you and I were talking earlier about Charlemagne the God and Post Malone, when even his co-stars were like, what? Like, they were confused, because you take it to a whole extreme where you're like, oh,
right, when he asked Post Malone what is he doing for the Black Lives Matter movement?
Yeah, like, out of nowhere, like, the motherfucker just talking, goes, but what are you doing for the Black Lives Matter? What? Like, what? Like, the man, like, you don't just randomly go, so Demuir, what are you doing to save the starving kids in Africa? Out of nowhere, you're just like, what? Like, what the fuck do you mean? Like, it's a random question that didn't even have a build up to it, so he can actually say, here's what I'm doing, or here's what I'm not doing, right? And to me, the whole idea of cultural appropriation is every culture does it to another, right? And, it's entertaining because when a Mexican does it to a black culture, it's fine. But when a white person does it, it's not fine, right? Or, vice versa. When Tyga and, oh my god, I always forget his fucking name, man. Not the game, hold on.
Oh, but he did
YG.
YG. Yeah, when he did the East LA shit, the Cholo culture shit.
Yeah, is he Mexican? No. Does he have the consequences of growing up in that? No, he can't be Mexican, right? He's black,
No, but he had a sit down with the council. But do we know
that? Did he talk about?
I was there.
Oh, of course, he's your homie, right?
I was there. He had to sit down with the council and said, "Yo,
the council.
I want to get into this Cholo shit."
Of all the OGs, no, it's just one of those things.
I want to get into this Cholo shit, and can you tell me what brand those socks are?
They're the Champion, But
no, you know what? No, it's listen, man. This
we don't know that. But then I don't see anyone saying, "But why are you appropriating Mexican culture, Cholo culture, right?" These motherfuckers are the way they are because, for them, life is not easy, right? Right? Yeah. Now, that's, for someone like YG, that's exploiting his privilege of being ultra rich, right? Being able to be like, yeah, I'm going to shoot this, and you guys can't say shit because he's so rich, right? So...
No, man, he saw the council, bro.
He saw the council.
I don't.
He
I
saw
don't.
all the
I
vatos
think
there. He's like,
he
yo,
went to the
wait.
East Mexican. He went to the East LA Mexican Council and had that conversation.
Bro, the man at one point was dressed like a mariachi, man. In the
Yeah,
video.
man. It was a respect thing too.
They're respecting,
So,
eh?
don't
But
Justin Bieber though. Justin Bieber
bro, what
walking up
council
and
does he
down,
go to, man? Do you want him to go call up YG and Tiger?
holding his dick like he's from Brooklyn, like
He's
or
from
Bed
Brooklyn,
Stuy, like
New
fucking
York.
like rocking around and hey, I
Hey,
admire that
Michael
he
Jackson
hired,
did that, man. He's black and white.
you know, but you know exactly what I'm saying, man.
I have an idea what you're saying, but it's just one of those things where if you're
That's
not,
some bullshit, man.
it's
That's
more
some bullshit.
emotion than anything like saying, yeah, he was grabbing his dick. Yeah, man. So do half the brown people here in my area, man. They all try to appropriate.
Y'all want to be black, but you don't want the black. You
But
don't want
here's the
black
thing,
people problems.
it's not that they don't want it. It's just that they don't even have that choice. We don't have that choice, right?
They don't. What do you mean they don't have to? What?
How do you
stop
have
acting black then?
What?
Stop acting black, bro. Do your own cultural shit.
But here's the thing: a lot of times you don't like your own culture, man. A lot of times
stop taking my shit. I fucking love my culture, bro.
Yeah, but a lot of times people don't, man. Like, here's the thing.
Whatever, man.
You know this in the greater
You know
Toronto
why?
area.
You know why you're acting like this, bro? Because you steal the things too, man. That's why.
What? I'm
You
Jamaican and
culture
steal
too.
big white things.
You know that's Jamaican, fam.
That's Jamaican as hell.
That's Jamaican. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. That's Jamaican.
You're
That's
about to get
Jamaican
canceled.
shit.
Be careful with that topic. That's an edgy one.
Whatever, man. Anyway, we're just fucking around.
No, man, it doesn't even matter.
But I like the song. I like Peaches. I like the song, but just watch it. You'll swear like, oh shit, is that a black man in the mix? What the fuck's going on?
Yeah, remember when I used to film for a rapper? Like, he was appropriating black culture on a whole nother level. Low riding Gucci belt, the Gucci watch.
There you go.
But it's just one of those things that's the culture in the music. That's the culture.
Was it a white dude?
He was Sri Lankan.
Brown dude. So, same shit, man. Same fucking shit.
Right, but it's one of those things that he loves the culture, right? He's probably more about that underground culture, right, than you are.
Y'all love it. He's
more about that shit. If you want to follow the proper culture of being or starting a rapper, bro, this motherfucker probably put a lead on his house to start a mixtape.
Y'all love it so much. You love it so much.
He's a drug dealer too, right? He followed the quota perfectly.
Then when it comes to visibility, you don't put black people on. That's cool.
Does. But that's down to the individual artist. Justin Bieber, clearly has worked with black artists in the past, right?
Yeah, well, he's stealing the shit.
He's stealing black people to the whites. Oh yeah, he's doing the drafts. You remember the racial drafts from Dave Chappelle?
Yeah, man.
They stole the Wu-Tang Clan. The Asians did.
That's it, man. That's it. Anyway, let's get off this because I'm.
Speaking of, have you seen that Lil Nas X is getting killed online?
Oh, for giving Satan a lap dance?
Yeah, that shit was weird as fuck, man. After seeing that, I'm like,
weird as fuck. That's real fucked up shit. Like
that's to me, I'm like, okay, man,
that's real fucked up shit. You won't catch us doing that shit.
No, it was funny because Andy's parents, they're Sri Lankan, so of course, in the culture you're very homophobic, right? Same with Hispanic. I think every culture. Sure. I think anything but white.
West Indian, Colombian too.
Yeah, anything but white. You're very homophobic. Unless you're like Southern, then you're really homophobic. There's very few niche that aren't homophobic. Yeah, but it's funny because the moment they found, because you remember that song, what was it Old Town Road?
Yeah.
The worst part was when he came out and said, "Of course I'm gay." The song was all about it. Man, you couldn't listen to that. He's saying he's got the horses in the back and shit, and you're like, oh. Him saying that shit, you're like, oh, I'm gonna be caught fruity in this one, right? Andy's parents immediately banned that song from the house. They're like, no. Like, it's not the fact that he's gay; it's the fact that he goes, "My music's about me being gay." And then you listen to the lyrics again and you think about it, you're like, I got the horses in the back. And I was like, oh, no.
Oh, fuck, man. I know, it is what it is. Like, hey, but it's at, that video's at a whole other it's at a whole other level, and I think that's what people are reacting to.
Oh, like, have you seen it?
No,
I watched
I
a
don't
clip of it and I was just like, oh my god, I can't tell if this is for real. Like, it was all CG, but I was just like, oh my god, like what the like, who in their right mind? Clearly, he's not in his right mind, because I'm like, yeah, man, that is on a whole other level of fucked up, you know?
Yeah.
Like, it fucking threw me off, man. I was like, whatever, you know, I was expecting a pride flight or something, but no, this man giving Satan a lap dance as he's sliding down a pole from heaven.
I'm not trying to fuck with that, man.
No,
I'm
man,
good.
no.
I'm good over here.
You know, you play it. It's like, remember when you and I were talking about Cardi B? It's like, you can't play that shit in your car, man. You know, you talking about some wet ass pussy. Like, you can't look like a man in that shit, man.
Yeah, you can't. Like, you know, I mean, you
can't look like a man while you lick my wet ass pussy. Like, that's fucked up.
Right, it's different, man. So whatever, man. But yeah, no, I heard about that. I caught. I haven't watched the full clip. I just saw a little bit, and I was like, "This is fucked up, man."
Man, that's
he's on some different shit that.
Man, that's what happens when the PCP hits.
Will not fuck with. Huh?
That's what happens when the PCP hits.
Meth, whatever the fuck it is.
Or did you see when Demi Lovato recently got killed online? Because she goes, gender reveal parties are homophobic, and someone says, take the needle out of your arm and then talk to us. Like, who the fuck is this bitch talking about high morality? Like, bitch, fuck. You like OD like 2 years ago.
That's hilarious, man. Well, yeah, let's move on from that, man. I don't even know how to gracefully pivot from that one.
Let me switch it up by saying, if you guys aren't subscribed to our Patreon, go to patreon.com/DemuirOfficial, where we have a remix contest going on right now with Demuir and Phil Weeks for the song To Be a Star. You can sign up there for $10 a month USD, and you guys can be entering a chance to potentially be on the label if you guys remix it. All the samples and everything you need will be on the website.
Oh yeah, and you know what? Shouts out to Jasmic, who's one of the community members on that one. I don't know if you caught this one in our Discord channel, but man, when I'm really blown away that when opportunities come up like this, and some people are like, "What? I gotta pay to be in the contest?" Yeah, motherfucker, you gotta pay. What do you think? What do you think this is, man? We got promo to tastemakers. It's people's time that's involved.
It's a lot of people's time. You know how
and
many songs you have to listen to?
You gotta spend $20-$30 to get on, like, as a part of the process. And I know we are providing more value in our content than the dollar amount we ask for, hands down. We got 27 plus hours of weekly production streams. We got a lot of free and exclusive music, and with this remix contest, it's an opportunity to release with Phil Weeks and I, things that a lot of people are striving hard and working towards, not necessarily with us, but to be on our labels and things of that nature. So Jasmic got in there, and he's like, yo, like, you're getting more value than what these guys are asking for, because people are just like, oh my god, I gotta pay. Yeah, motherfucker, you gotta give to get. I can tell you right now,
spend money, make money.
Yeah, but I can tell you right now, man, if I were producing and it was a pandemic where not much was going on, and like some of my idols like a DJ Sneak or Honey Dijon or Derek Carter threw a contest like this on, and it required $20 from me, and at the same time I can learn a bunch of shit, it's a no-brainer, man. Yeah, some of you motherfuckers, you're so fucking ungrateful. You're so focused on.
Call me cheap, but fuck, man, some people are cheaper than me by a lot.
That's not even cheap. That's just like you're not even thinking about the opportunity. You're focused on this dollar amount and not really putting it into perspective of how micro that is in comparison to the size of the opportunity.
Yeah, it's a big
So shouts out,
opportunity, right?
yeah, man. So listen, man, shouts out to the community um, for standing up for that. I appreciate that. We got over 140 patrons. At 200, we're gonna be raffling off some stuff, and the remix contest deadline
Oh yeah, so
is May
hold on, let me do the second part
14th.
of the plug. So if you guys don't know, but when we hit 200 patrons, we're also gonna be giving away a Arturia Micro Freak and a custom painted longboard. So if you guys live in California, I know y'all are gonna love a longboard.
Yeah, man.
Especially considering the taxes there, y'all motherfuckers can't afford cars. Have fun on the longboard.
This guy's always working in the car angle.
No, bro, you know
Fucking
the
guy.
taxes in California are fucking deadly, man.
Yeah, no,
Have you not
this-
seen the mass exodus that just happened? Like every
yeah,
company is like, fuck you.
a lot of people went over to Florida, right?
Florida,
And Texas.
mainly Texas and Nevada,
Yeah.
because bro, after Arnold left, man, those taxes went.
Oh, they went.
Bro,
they
hashtag
went-
bring back Arnold to Florida. Am I right? Arnie kept that shit locked down.
You mean bring Arnold back to California?
Yeah, exactly. To be a senator again, man. Because fuck, man,
thought
those
you said
taxes. I
Florida.
know the taxes were bad when all the companies are like, yeah, we're not dealing with this one.
Fuck.
Man, you know what middle class is considered in fucking San Francisco? $105,000 USD a year.
Yeah, man.
It's fucking bro. Here you're considered upper middle class. There you're lower middle class.
It's not like, man. I saw a thing on Kevin O'Leary, who's one of the dragons from Dragon's
I
Den.
know, Kevin O'Leary.
You know, for those of you who are not familiar with him, and he spoke about the story when he was younger, and he was working for someone, and I don't know, there's some sort of altercation, and she was like, you know, before you go today, make sure you scrape that shit off the ground, you know. And I guess he was doing a cleaning job or some shit. And then she waited for him to do all of that shit. And then she said, "Oh yeah, by the way, you're fired."
Wow.
After he did all of that. Now, he said in that moment, that was the very moment he said, "I will never be an employee or work for someone ever." Because he realized how much control, even after all of that, scraping shit off the floor, even after all of that, they still fired him and had that degree of impact on his life. So, you know, when it comes to when it comes to this shit, man, you know, and living and stuff and doing your own thing, I'll always opt to do my own thing, man. I was doing that corporate shit, man. I was making well over 200,000 a year.
Humble flex, eh?
Well over 200,000 a year,
Guys
man.
flexing on everyone. So for all you
You
peasants
know,
that don't know.
no, I mean, I'm just being real about it. But I was still very unhappy with what I was doing. And
money isn't 100% of the topic, right? Money isn't
no,
everything in the world.
but this,
if you're not
but this is
happy,
the,
then
no, totally. But this is the funny thing. One is I realized, you know, just before the pandemic, I realized after I played a gig somewhere, I can't remember. I was sitting in the hotel room and I was like, damn, you know, fuck, I made more in one night than I did in 2 weeks making that 200,000. And I was like, wow, that's profound. And and my whole point on this, like, listen, man, there's nothing wrong if you want to do a 9 to 5 and do this music shit on the side, that's cool. If you want to be an employee and you're getting something enriching from it and it provides value to you and your family or whatever, do your shit. But my point is, there's nothing more fulfilling, at least for me, in working for myself and being able to set different goals and stuff and put forth an agenda and watch those goals come to fruition. And I've always found that the money will follow after. It'll always come.
yeah. Alan
Because
Watts, a great philosopher, once said, you know, do what you want, and when you become a master of it, you will get paid for it.
exactly. And that also includes to take it 360. Part of the process and the journey is to invest in yourself.
Yeah.
Like you can look around in my room, and I'm sure
Hold
you
on,
can
hold
look
on.
around in
Before
yours.
people get confused, doesn't mean a 360 deal. He means like, take a full look around before people say take a 360 deal.
Oh no, whatever. I don't think you're a bucket, man. Like I'm saying 360 in terms of it brings us back to the point on cheap motherfuckers looking at this contest and saying, "Oh man, I got to spend money to take advantage of opportunities." Yeah, sometimes you gotta give to get,
Yeah,
And I
100%.
still do that shit to this day. I have a hip hop instrumentals album and a bunch of other projects coming. I have an MPCX. I bought new monitors and I bought another sound card for about $5,000 in total.
Yeah, people. I
Yeah,
don't know
you
why
don't.
people think that if you don't like, they're like, oh, I'll make it out of the bedroom with nothing. Like,
Yeah,
okay,
good luck.
Skrillex, good luck with that one. No, you need the bare minimum, a sound card and good monitors, because the good monitors, A, make a massive difference in your sounds, and B, in your mixes. Investing, you have to invest in a nice computer, right? For me, I have a massive tower with a lot of power, and I know that's gonna hold me off for a lot of years, right? I did a one-time
Yeah.
purchase, and then I know I'm good for the next 4 or 5 years. All I have to do maybe is switch out a video card if I want to play more games or if I want to edit faster or whatever, right? I bought myself a TV as my monitor because I wanted something big that I can just read. Because for me, man, my eyesight is deadly. It's bad. If I take off my glasses, I can't read what's on my massive TV. Take that in,
Mm,
right?
mm.
But for me, the way I saw it is I have more screen real estate. I can do more work at the same time and faster, right? Got a
Well,
second screen for that too.
anyway, we've beaten that point to death. I think people understand it. You got to give to get, and nothing is for free. Which brings me to I guess the other topic we had here, uh, which is now that we've had, well, we're gonna have about 2 years of this pandemic shit.
It's fucking crazy, man.
Um,
Well, no,
you
we're
know,
like a year. So we already had our anniversary. What, in February?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
We
So
had our
sorry.
anniversary.
I'm thinking, you know what? I'm thinking so far out. Like, so I said 2 years because I'm just thinking of back to normal, right?
Back to
But in
full
terms
normal. Yeah.
technically, you don't know. You're absolutely right. It's been just over a year. So now that we've just been over a year, um, I think one of the things when it comes to the game of PR and dance music, it was interesting. Like I had releases on some pretty meaty labels like Sola Nouts, and I got some more bigger releases coming. Um, and it's interesting. I was very curious to see what would happen with the PR game. You know what I'm saying? Uh, Given you know that we are in a pandemic and there's lockdowns happening at varying degrees across the world. Um, so my impression of current state for PR is that not too many people are doing it. Not too many of those PR firms have survived. And the ones that are doing it, they're either on retainer and they're getting decent results. Um, I, in terms of it impacting an artist and their ability to market themselves, I'm at a point where I don't think people need it.
No, I don't think
Like,
so either. There's a lot of artists who have come up without even needing a PR in general. Obviously, as you get bigger, it's just one of those things that I guess is more of a nice to have when let's say you have a million Instagram followers, you can't always keep up with the posts and all that.
yeah,
It's just a nice thing to have. But for PR labels in general or PR companies, I think it became survival of the fittest, right? Who
for
was the
sure.
most effective at getting results? Oh, you weren't? Okay, too bad, too sad. Goodbye.
Yeah,
Right, and I think
like
that's
this.
one thing. And I think PR. Sorry to keep going, but PR is just one of those things that for a while it was needed, especially when you were selling physical items. But when the cost for someone to listen to your music is just a membership to something like Spotify, Tidal, Apple Music, or Sirius, or whatever, the cost you're already paying that a month. It doesn't cost them anything to just listen to your music. I don't think it's needed. I think all you have to do is put good music, and eventually it'll grow, right?
Yeah, I'm more. Yeah, I agree with you more on the latter. I think I think if anything I've noticed in this game is good music will always prevail.
100%.
It'll always it'll always prevail. Like I don't give a fuck. Like and I'm not tripping on some ego shit. I honestly I was having this conversation with some people on my team and they wanted to get into this PR shit like 700 pounds a month. I was like, I'm not fucking doing that shit anymore. Fuck that.
For
Unless you
what, you
guys want
know?
to put in some of your own fucking money to support that bullshit for something that isn't guaranteed. And quite frankly, it's all based on relationships with people. Like they even put prices on fucking covers, like magazine covers. Pay this much and you'll get on a cover.
How much is it to go at a
And
DJ
I'm
Mag?
not.
Because I would love to get on the front of DJ Mag just for the fuck of it.
Yeah, I mean, wouldn't we all, right? Um,
And
and
I
I'm
got
not
whatever.
saying
If it's like $4,000, whatever, I'll swing that. Just
right, but
just to be on the front to
what
the fuck of it.
what I'm saying here is I'm not saying. I want to be clear. Um, I'm not saying the magazines are saying that's what it costs.
But
What
it's
I'm
the
saying
PR.
is we have different PR firms saying if you pay this much, we can do this for you or get you this result, and it's not even guaranteed. So
Mm.
I'm not gonna play that fucking game anymore. It's just it's dumb. It's a waste of my fucking time. Um, I've seen people with massive PR campaigns spending all kinds of crazy fucking money, and we don't spend any money, but the good music prevails because it's simply just great music, and
Yeah.
that's really where the focus should be, and that's really who should be and what should be rewarded when it comes to the electronic music industry. Like, it shouldn't be about someone has access to capital, so you know they're able to buy some homepage love or whatever. I've never done that, and I'm so happy that I haven't had to do that. And if it came down to having to do that, there'd be another way.
There's
But
always
I'm
another
not
way.
playing that fucking game anymore. It's bullshit. If you are a new artist and your manager's up your ass saying spend money on PR,
Get a
you
new
got to do
manager.
this. Can your fucking manager? Don't do it. Keep it moving.
Get a
Um,
German manager. They're the best.
you know, sure.
Because they're
And
perfectionists at heart.
yeah, true. But the point here is if you're gonna spend any money, spend money in reinvesting in yourself.
100%. Get better
Uh,
tooling. Get better sound. Get whatever it takes for you to
right.
get that little improvement, right? I know for a lot of people, in my case, mainly it's video editing because I haven't even had time to make music, but it's
Right.
it's a little, you have to spend a lot of money a lot of times to make a little bit of a difference. But as long as you kind of over time spend that money, that little bit of a difference becomes massive. Whether it's 2%, let's say you spend
Yeah.
$600, 2%, blah blah, keep going. At a certain point, you're gonna be 30% better over the span of like 2 years, 3 years, right? And that 30% in improvement is a big improvement compared to just a 2%. But you need that 2% to get moving, right?
Yeah.
Whether that's your sound equipment or plugins or whatever it is, right?
All those the things. Like
There's a million things
just
you can do.
just focus on the music.
Just focus
Because the
on your
game
end
is
product. That don't worry about any of the other shit. Because the moment you worry on the other shit is the moment that you're lagging behind. Because these motherfuckers that are at the top have already done the work to focus on the music, right? They've
yeah,
already
exactly.
dedicated
Like
a lot of their money and a lot of their lives to making some of the best music they can. The Josh Butlers and the Carl Cox of the world. They spend tons of money, more money than you could ever imagine, doing this shit.
it's just a matter of just focus on the content is king.
Content is king, like Bill Gates said.
It's gonna be that way. Intellectual property is the biggest thing in my opinion. So when it comes to PR, I think that stuff is just floating away, and it leads me to my next point. You know, about Time Warner and Tencent developing a multi-year licensing deal to start a label in China, and
So
it's the
hold
first
on.
of its
Can I go,
kind.
can I go on a little tangent first?
Yeah, yeah,
So I hate Tencent. if you guys don't know, Tencent is actually owned, I believe, a majority by the Chinese government, right? And it's fucked up because, as you guys know, the Chinese government, they do a lot of bad things, right? Whether it's the concentration camps for Muslims, or censoring literally their whole population, or sending you to jail for having opposing thoughts. And, you know, Warner's just Warner, so I guess there's really no difference between them and the Chinese government. Well, yeah, to me, I fucking hate Tencent, and I think that's an awful thing, because I know that no one's going to be able to make the music they want. They're going to make whatever the government tells them to make.
Well, listen, it's not. Well, it's a multi-year licensing deal, and political sensitivities aside, I think this is one to watch for in terms of how things evolve. And I say this because you have a record label and a huge investment firm saying, let's package up this thing called music and artistry and sell it in a manner that works for us. This is a multi-year deal. So they know. So this type of deal is, to me, is indicative that it's all about the content, and they're going to take this licensing stuff and push it towards certain movies and bring the industry, well, the media industry, to the point where, hey, you have to license. We own that catalog.
Yeah.
You know, we own that publishing. We own the licensing to that track. You want to put it in your show, you got to come to us. So even more reason why it's imperative that you own your content. You own your own content. Like,
Yeah.
you know, don't sign a fucking perpetuity deal that someone's going to turn around and say, here you go. That includes Demuir songs. Have at it. Give me X dollars for it. And then people you don't know wherever are taking advantage and profiting off of your content. Like, this is the game now. So it to me, it's needless to spend money on PR, empty promising PR, whereas you can take the money, invest it in yourself, improve the brand and quality of your own content, own it, and monetize it under your own terms. Don't give that shit away. Don't.
Yeah,
I'm telling you, man. Everybody thought Sneak was on a tangent. Oh, here goes angry Sneak again. But he's right. He's absolutely fucking right. You know, he owns his own shit. He does whatever he wants with it. And I'm doing the same stuff in a different way. I mean, I've gone on record and saying only 10% of the stuff I make is going to go to labels I actually fuck with.
Yeah.
Labels that actually send a royalty statement, that pay me well, that don't fuck me over, that actually put me on gigs, that support the brand because I've given them fucking music.
Of course.
That makes them credible. So people, you better watch this stuff carefully. I mean, I know we joke about it in different ways, but that deal, that JV label deal between Warner and Tencent in China is significant, because I can guarantee, Juan, and for the others listening to this podcast, that someone somewhere in North America is going to replicate that model, and it's just going to be a matter of time.
Yeah, 100. But you know, it's one of those things where I think as long as people kind of do the same thing that they're doing to what is it called, to Spotify, where artists band together, I think that's one of those things where, as long as but I think then the problem is the big artists will never do that.
Yeah,
the biggest artists are getting paid to shut the fuck up. Let's be real.
Junior Sanchez was making this point to me about, you know, he was saying, I commend you for doing what you do with Purveyor, but you're like a tree in a forest that no one hears. And I'm like, Junior, I don't give a fuck. Like, really and truly, if that's how you want to look at it for the underground electronic music industry, have at it, bro. Like, at the end of the day, Purveyor Underground has done the absolute right thing for the label and the artists that have fed the label content. You know, and we have a just to give me a second, one. We have a small piece of the pie. Yes, that's true, but I don't give a fuck. I'm not trying to say, hey, Justin Bieber, you know streaming's bad, and it only really benefits you and maybe 4 or 5 of your peers, right? I'm not trying to do that. I'm saying, listen, content is powerful. The ownership of your content is powerful. And why should I leave content on Spotify that only pays me $5 or $7 a month versus putting it on Bandcamp and getting 7,000 times more than that? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like as a percentage. So, like, we got to get out of this conversation about we need a whole army of people to make a difference. Fuck that, man. Lead by example. Be a steward in your industry, and show that this shit can happen properly. And that's what we're doing. Go ahead.
So,
What were you gonna say?
the finishing point you did there was exactly what I was gonna say, man. Junior, we love that little guy. He's a nice little guy. He loves to call at the wrong times, of course. I'm surprised he hasn't called you during this podcast. We're probably gonna get a Bible message about this later, but it's one of those things where, some people just gotta stop fucking being pussy, saying, "Oh, I won't do an effect." Well, maybe if you fucking try every once in a while and didn't just fucking cave into everything that a label asks you to, maybe then you would make a fucking difference. Maybe then you would be important, right?
Yeah.
And it's just one of those things where, although for me at the beginning I was just like, what, why, but after a while I kind of gave it some thought and I said, man, like, getting fucked over like that is fucking stupid, and I don't support that idea.
That's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, and for me, the way I see it is, sure, you may be a very small percentage, but it only takes a very small percent to do a big act. Look how much, like, the let's say, I don't know, the 1% of the world, right? The 1% of the world. Very small group of people. Very small. Again, only 1%. But that 1% can move oceans. They can do whatever they want, right? It only takes a small percentage of people, right?
Most definitely, bro. Most definitely.
That, right? And all it takes is a few more labels to go and do the same thing, and then immediately a big artist is gonna be like, yeah, you know what? Let me follow the trend. All it takes is just one artist, one Justin Bieber, one Drake, one Kanye, one of those to be like, yeah, this is fucked up, and then they're gonna follow suit. But by saying something like that, trying to discourage you, saying you're not gonna do shit, my very famous saying is they can go fuck off. If someone has an opinion, they can go fuck off. Because at the end of the day,
listen, Matt.
What the fuck are they doing to help improve it? What are they doing to improve A, the culture, and B, the artists to actually make money? What are they doing? Nothing. Why? Because they can't do anything.
The easiest thing to do is to sit and do nothing.
It's to criticize. Oh, you're not
changing anything. And while you're doing nothing is to criticize too. That's the easiest thing to do. So that's just not part of my DNA. It's not part of the DNA for Purveyor Underground, and we are getting it done. So that's the deal there. But this deal, between Time Warner and 10 Cent Music is huge, and it's a business model for DJs and producers that you should watch out for, because this is the thing that really said to me, shit, I got to get all my masters back. I got to own my content. I got to do more.
Man, sooner or later, I'm telling you, Spotify, the rate they're going, if they don't improve, what they're going to do is they're going to start putting some perpetuity deals saying, oh, yeah, by the way, we own it for streaming.
Oh, yeah. You can't. No,
they're going to do that shit.
I think that's a very realistic point. Like, you can have, I wouldn't be surprised if Spotify or any other streaming service started to say, shit, you know what? Distributor, if you send us stuff, it's important you have your record label sign this contract that says, hey, if they want to take down shit from our platform, it's got to be on these terms.
Yeah.
Like, you got to put it in 90 days notice, and the shit is still there for another 90 days. Or, the bullshit clause that I've seen in other record labels where when it comes up to the anniversary of the termination of the contract, and if you don't write them and say, I intend to take my masters back, it automatically renews into some other bullshit, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, listen, man, all things to look out for. But yeah, it's gonna be an interesting time, man.
Yeah, no,
I don't
100%.
got anything else, man. I do have some flavor, but we'll save that for the next pod.
Of course, of course. Hey man, when are you gonna let me take you out to that Trini restaurant, man? You're gonna love that place.
Yeah, you know what? Let's yeah, I want to do that shit, man. I want to do that shit for sure. Cool. Let's do that. In the background, we're hearing one of my live sets. Can't remember where was this? Shit. Can't remember. I think it was in San Francisco at the end up. Yeah, man. So I'll probably make this set available. Shouts out to Amnesia Ibiza, Pyramid Radio Ibiza, Luca Donzelli for hosting my set there on Friday, the 26th. That would have been lots of love there. Appreciate it. I hope to get back to Ibiza. I don't think it's going to happen this year.
I hear you're gonna take me next time you have to go, eh?
To Ibiza?
Yeah.
I don't know, bro.
If we get enough subscribers, then
I don't know,
the content,
bro.
then it's worth
I don't
it.
think your girl will let you either, so you need to just nice that still.
Hey, bro, I can speak Spanish. Look, hola tía, ¿quieres papitas? Speak with the
Wow, that's
list.
fucking rude. You added the little lisp thing there.
Did I?
Yeah. Mainland Spaniards speak a little different, huh?
I found out every South American country hates Spaniards.
Listen, I'm gonna get off this thing because you're
I'm
trying to start some
country.
shit. You're trying to start some shit, and
Some motherfucker from
that I
Spain
know
is gonna be
nothing
like,
about,
we're not that bad.
and you're just trying to pull me in. Anyways, much love and respect out to our patrons, our YouTube subscribers. Much love to my IG followers, Facebook, everybody who's supporting, our content and my music, Purveyor Underground label. Much respect to you. I can't wait to give away that stuff when we hit 200 patrons. But I'm really ecstatic with all the things we've been doing this year, and we get to start monetizing on YouTube too. So we got to sort that this week, Juan. But we officially hit the right amount of watch hours, and
we're gonna be YouTube partners
we
now.
are on our way to 3,000 subscribers. Which, again, last year we only started at 500. So,
and if you guys want to cancel us to give us a boost, be my guest.
Yeah, man. So, you know what? I think if we can pull it off for the next pod one, we should get a guest. I have a number of people.
Sure, let's get Sydney Blu to see why she rejected you on Tinder.
Yeah, that would be funny.
That would be pretty.
She'll probably laugh at that shit when she hears that. Anyway, much love and respect to y'all. Juan, enjoy the rest of your day.
The guys, don't forget to unsubscribe from Spotify and switch to Tidal, preferably not Apple Music, but Tidal's better.
Tidal. Go to Apple Music, y'all.
Yeah, support child slavery. Anyway.
Poor child. So you have to get that in.
I have to get it in. I gotta get it in. Anyway, switch out from Spotify, support an artist, buy on Bandcamp. It doesn't necessarily always have to be us. You can support other artists directly.
Whatever, bro.
Anyway, much respect to you. Peace.
Peace out.